What's going on, YouTube? Thanks for stopping by. My name is Michael, also known as Hyrule Dude. Today we're going to be going over part 2 of the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. We're going to be getting the Paraglider, and in part 1 we just finished activating the Great Plateau, which is where I am now. So I put my Sheikah Slate on this cool little pedestal and activated this awesome tower. So let's stand at the edge of the tower and let's go ahead and pull out our Sheikah Slate. And if we look to the left, we're going to notice this shrine here. So let's go ahead and put a marker there because we're going to have to visit that location. To the right a little bit, you're going to see another shrine. So let's marker that one. It's going to be 2 of 4. And then a third shrine over by the snowy mountaintop. That's going to be our third tower. And finally, our fourth tower right here near the base of the tower to the right. And that's our fourth tower. So from here, let's go ahead and go down to the base of the tower where we're going to meet the old man. Now, once you reach the bottom, old man is going to come flying out of the sky, and he's going to be very shocked and surprised at seeing this tower erupt from the ground. And then he's going to give you a story about the very bad, evil Calamity Ganon, and he's going to tell you a story of things that occurred a full century prior to this date. And he asks you if you heard a voice while you were at the top of the tower. And so I'm going to tell him that I did. I heard a strange voice, and he's going to give me a little bit of dialogue. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that there. But ultimately, we're going to be directed towards these shrines. And as you can see here, he's pointing them out. And the nearest shrine is going to be the first shrine that we visit. And basically what he's telling me is that if I'm able to complete this shrine, he's going to exchange the paraglider to me, and this will allow us to get off of this Great Plateau, which without the paraglider we would literally face a certain death. The first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to see this pond here, and it's going to have some fish swimming around in it. Now these fish are called Hyrule bass, and we're going to need to pick up a few because we're going to have to make a very special dish later, and it's going to require the Hyrule bass. Now I had to come out of the water just to get them to congregate together, and then I just jumped in really quickly and obtained a few more bass. Now once we have a good handful of them, we're going to continue moving towards this shrine here. Now this is where I am on the map. We're going to be going towards the green marker, and I'm going to fast forward it, and eventually when you get there, it's a shrine called the Omen Ow Shrine. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. If you have the expansion pack, you will see an expansion chest here containing a red ruby, so make sure to grab that. So let's go ahead and enter the shrine by putting our Sheikah Slate on the pedestal, and that's going to confirm the Sheikah Slate, which will open the doors to the shrine, and we can enter and go down. Alright, so this is going to be our first shrine of the game. Expect many of them because they're spread all throughout Hyrule. Now, a spirit is going to greet you, and this is going to be the MAGNESIS trial. So the first thing you're going to want to do is go to the left, to the pedestal, put your Sheikah Slate on it, and it's going to activate the MAGNESIS rune. And this is going to allow you to control metal objects throughout the game. So very important, absolutely required. You must do this. So let's go ahead and activate this pedestal, get our rune, and move forward. Now, once you've extracted the rune and you have the MAGNESIS capability, you're going to want to go ahead and run over to these 2 metal plates on the floor. Go ahead and activate the rune, and go ahead and move this metal slab to the left or the right. It doesn't really matter. And you'll see that there's a passageway underneath, and you're going to be greeted by a wall of blocks. However, one of them is a metal block. So we're going to use the rune to grab that metal block, but make sure to keep control of that because there is a guardian on the other side, and you can use this block to hit the guardian and defeat it. Now I'm just going to smash this guardian's face a couple times, and ultimately I'm trying to push him into the water because once he drops into the water, he is instantly dead. Now make sure to go ahead and grab the ancient screw and the ancient spring that he leaves behind. We're gonna need to collect really as many of those as we can. And now we're gonna cross over the metal slab here. Now turn around and grab this metal slab with your magnesis and then use it to bridge the two platforms on the other side together so that you can walk across here as well. If you look to the left, there's going to be a chest, which you can grab with the rune, and that is going to contain a sweet traveler's bow. Then we can open the gates with the magnesis and finally obtain our spirit orb. All right, sweet. So we've obtained the spirit orb, and we are going to head back to the outside of the shrine in hopes of trading it for the paraglider with the old man. All right, so once we're outside, we are going to see the old man again flying from the sky on the paraglider like an awesome old dude. And he's going to notice that you have managed to get the spirit orb. He's also going to give you a little bit of elderly wisdom, if you will. And from here, we're hoping to make our trade. Before we do that, though, he asks a few questions about the Sheikah Slate that he notices on Link's hip. And from there, we're going to have a little bit of a brief discussion. And he's going to charge us with obtaining 3 more spirit orbs before trading the paraglider to us as promised and agreed. So Link is not too happy about that. Now he's directing us to go to the top of the tower, but we're not going to have to do that because we've already marked the shrines that we need to visit. So we've already beat that step. So if you've followed along, you really don't have to go there. And instead, you can go to the right and you'll notice this little pond here. If you look in the water, though, there is a treasure chest which contains an amber. And there's also this plank and another treasure chest. And the second treasure chest is going to contain an opal. So once we've obtained those 2 stones from the chests, let's go ahead and pull out the plank and follow along here because we're going to use that as a bridge. And you'll notice to the left, there's actually a platform that contains 2 more treasure chests. We're going to use the plank as a bridge between the 2, and we'll be able to walk across it to open the chests. Now, the chest to the left will give you fire arrows, and the chest to the right will give you 5 ice arrows. If you come around this pond here, you're going to see that there is a metal ball. If you grab the metal ball and put it at the center of this tree stump, you're going to reveal a Korok seed. So keep in mind that we're going to want to collect as many Korok seeds as possible in the game to obtain various different things like additional inventory slots. From here, we're going to want to continue heading towards the west into the forest. And we're going to come across a few different things, and one of them is going to be live boars. And so if we take out our arrow and hit the boar, we'll be able to obtain raw meat. So that's very important. So let's make sure to go ahead and hunt a little bit in this area, grab the raw meat that we can get, and continue moving forward until we see a section that has these flowers. Now, once you touch the flower, it will disappear, and another flower will reappear. So you're going to want to continue following the path that it lays out for you. And once you touch all of the flowers, another Korok will be revealed. So that's another way that these Koroks like to hide. Now, continuing through the forest, you're going to come across a fire, and you'll see that the old man is sitting here next to it. And not far away, you will see this tree with leaves underneath its roots. So go ahead and take out your fire arrow and burn the leaves, which is going to reveal a rock. Now, if you pick up the rock, yet again, you'll find another Korok seed. So make sure to grab that. It's very good to collect these early on in the game because we're going to meet a very interesting character who is going to want these Korok seeds. From here, we're going to want to head over to where the old man is by the fire. And we're going to see that there are some arrows next to him, also a traveler's bow. Now, I already lit a fire underneath this cooking pot, which I'm going to use to just take a rest until morning time. The reason why we're doing that is we're looking to avoid any enemies that come out at night. Now, if we look at our map, we'll be able to transport back to the Omen Owl Shrine, and that'll give us a quick shortcut back to that location because we are headed to the next marker on the map. Now, once you arrive, we're going to continue moving over towards the red pin, and that's going to be the next shrine that we're going to tackle. So for me, if you're by the Omen Owl Shrine and you go to the left, you can literally just climb up this wall here and walk right down it, and it will lead you right to the next section that we need to explore. Now from here, you're going to want to proceed with caution because there is a guardian, a live guardian, that you're going to want to avoid. Now, if you stay on the outskirts, you will be able to come around the backside and you will come across the next shrine, which is called the Ja Baij Shrine. Let's go ahead and put the Sheikah Slate on the pedestal and enter our second shrine. Now, once you enter the second shrine, you're going to go back to the pedestal, and it's going to be very similar to the first one, where we're going to put the Sheikah Slate on it to activate our second rune, which is going to be the bomb rune. And this is going to allow you to have bombs 24/7. Let's go ahead and pull out our bomb. You can use the square bomb or the round bomb. Either one doesn't matter. Throw it next to the bricks, and of course you're going to want to detonate it to explode the rocks in the way, which will reveal a underground passageway. And to the right, you're going to see another set of blocks, which you're going to use a bomb again to see what's behind it. And this treasure chest contains a Traveler's Claymore. Now, moving forward, you'll see another wall, and yet again, we're going to need to detonate a bomb to get through. And you'll see a small little ladder here, and a platform that's moving back and forth in the next room. Now, place a square bomb on the platform, let it go to the other side, and you'll blow up those rocks as well. This is going to be the main room of the shrine. Now, looking to the left, you're going to see that there is an orb flying back and forth here, and also a treasure chest. So let's go ahead and step on this platform. It's going to launch us to the other side, which will reveal a amber inside of a chest. We'll go back up the main stairs in the center of the room and head over to the other side. Now, if you notice, there is a hole here where you'll be able to put your bomb into, and it's going to launch it over to these rocks here, which you'll be able to detonate, and finally climb up this ladder, which will give you access to the god in the shrine. All right, so upon exiting the shrine, we're going to see a block wall in front of us. Let's avoid that. If we climb the wall, we'll see that there's an expansion chest here if you have the expansion pass, and this will reveal a Nintendo Switch t-shirt. Now, moving forward, we're going to move towards the purple marker on our map that we marked before. Now, this is where I'm located on the map. Got a little bit of ways to go, so let's continue moving forward. If you look in the distance, though, there's a Lionel. Make sure to avoid that guy because I don't think you're going to be able to defeat him with the weapons that you currently have. And a little further up, you'll see that there's this log cabin. Now, all throughout this small section of land, you're going to see a bunch of stamella shrooms. I highly suggest picking up as many of those as you can. Those are going to increase your stamina when you cook them, which we're going to do shortly. Now, entering into the log cabin, you'll see there's spicy peppers, another very important ingredient for that meal that I had mentioned that we're going to have to cook. Now, break the pots here and obtain some extra food items, and also stamella shrooms and a baked apple. For now, I'm just going to collect some more stamella shrooms that are in the area. If you look up on some of these rocks, you'll see that there's rush shrooms, also a great ingredient to have when cooking cool recipes. So, speaking of that, let's go ahead and make a meal now. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab 1 raw meat. I'm then going to grab 1 spicy pepper and 1 Hyrule bass. And this is going to make the very special recipe that we need. It's going to unlock a piece of armor for us that is going to come in handy. Now, while I'm here, let me go ahead and cook up a second very important meal. It's going to be 4 stamella shrooms, and that's going to give me a recipe that fully replenishes my stamina. Finally, I'm going to cook up the 2 rushrooms that I have, and this is going to make Link speed up, and we're going to use that in a little bit from here as well. Now, moving further to the west, we're going to come across the old man, and he's chopping some wood. But before I do that, let me chop this tree down and take the apples that come from it. And I'm going to talk to the old man and help him cut this tree down. And he's going to say that it's quite fancy that I did that. So I'm going to ask him what he's doing and basically teaching you how to cut down a tree, which is quite simple. Now, headed back to the campsite, I'm going to run over to the fire and wait until he walks all the way over because he seems to be quite tired. It is 3:55 or 4 p.m. in the afternoon, and he's an old guy, so he needs a break. Now, once he sits down, go ahead and engage in a conversation with him, and eventually you're going to want to let him know that you cooked something. Now, you're going to show him that you cooked a very special dish, which is called the spicy meat and seafood fry. As a result, for your excellent cooking skills, he will reward you with a warm doublet. Now, this is going to come in handy when you are in colder climates, and we are going to be in a colder climate shortly, and we're going to rely on the warm doublet for protection. Now, once that is completed, we can continue moving forward. So I'm going to run over to the trees here, and I'm going to take out my axe, and I'm going to cut down the tree in such a way to where the log falls down and creates a bridge between this gap or void here. Now, once across, if you notice, there are some bokoblins, and so you're going to want to be pretty careful here. I'm going to take out my arrow and strike one of these birds just to get some extra meat, and I'm going to use my bombs as a method to blow these bokoblins out of the way. For example, you'll see that this bokoblin is going to get launched right off of this cliff here. And I've got this bokoblin chasing me, and I'm going to use a bomb to launch him off as well. And we're now safe. We didn't have to use any of our weapons, and we didn't really sustain real damage. So, taking out another bomb on this wall here, you'll reveal a treasure chest. And this treasure chest contains a fire arrow, pack of 5. So, also very, very good to have because if you were to buy them in the store, they're quite expensive. Now, heading back to where we originally came from, where we knocked down the tree to cross over, before I do that, I'm actually going to throw away my weak items, which is going to be my Boko club, and I'm going to obtain the Boko spear instead. Now, this tree here has a bunch of apples, so I'm going to go ahead and chop this down to easily grab all of the apples, and I'm also going to hit the tree again so that I can obtain a bundle of wood. Now, looking up, you'll see there are some platforms on the way up, and we're just going to want to follow that path. The hasty mushroom skewer is going to come in handy now, so I'm going to eat that so that we can climb this rock face here a lot faster. Now you'll notice there's rushrooms all along the way, so make sure to pick them up, and they can also serve as a guide of where you're climbing to. You obviously want to follow the platforms because you just simply do not have enough stamina to make a full run all the way through. Now, as you can see, I'm running out of energy right at the top of this cliff, and I'm just going to jump for it, and Link will make it with just enough energy to spare. And here you're going to see the third shrine, 3 out of 4, which is the Owa Daim Shrine. So let's go ahead and enter this shrine now to obtain our next rune and also our next spirit orb. All right, now finally we have entered our third shrine, which is going to be the Stasis Trial. As usual, we're going to approach the pedestal and extract your Stasis rune. We're going to look at this spinning wheel on the left. If we take out our stasis, we can freeze it in time so that we can walk across this platform. Now, don't run up this passageway too quick, as there will be a boulder rolling down the passageway, and you'll have to wait until that passes by and continue running even further up to where you'll find a treasure chest containing a traveler's shield. Now, once we obtain the traveler's shield, we can go back down the slide and move over to the right. Now, you'll notice that there is a sledgehammer on the wall. And take out the stasis rune, go ahead and put stasis onto this boulder, and do a spin attack onto the boulder so that we can blow it out of the way and we can continue moving forward. And we are going to approach the throne here and obtain our next spirit orb. Once you exit the shrine, you'll notice there's a boulder here to the left. So go ahead and use stasis to freeze the boulder and do a spin attack to launch the boulder out of the way, which will reveal a treasure chest right underneath it. Finally, we're going to climb even higher. And now as you're climbing, you'll see a little ledge here. And on top of it, there is another iron sledgehammer. So I'm going to throw away the one that I currently have, just so I can have a nice, fresh, crispy iron sledgehammer. If you haven't already equipped your warm doublet that we got from the old man, now is the time to do so, as it is very cold up here. Now, our destination is going to be towards the yellow pin that we marked on the map earlier in this video. I will show you exactly where we are on the map. So this is where we are, and this is where we are headed to. Now, not too far up, you're going to encounter another bokoblin. I'm going to use my bombs to launch this dude off the cliff. Now, behind him, there's going to be a wooden treasure chest that contains an amber. So I'm going to go ahead and retrieve that and continue making my way towards the yellow pin. Now, once you cross over this hill here, you're going to see the final shrine of this video. Now, I'm going to pull out my shield to do a little bit of shield surfing to speed up my travel to this shrine. Now, once you start climbing up this hill, you're going to notice some boulders coming down. You're going to want to dodge those. And not too far up, there is a camp of bokoblins. As usual, we're going to use our bombs to blast these dudes out of the way, and we're going to be able to preserve the weapons that we have. So we won't waste it on them. finally, you're going to approach the final shrine, and it is called the Kenamit Shrine. So let's go ahead and enter the shrine to complete it and obtain our final spirit orb. All right, we are entering into the CRYONIS trial, and like before, we're going to approach the pedestal, put the Sheikah Slate on, extract the rune, and you're going to have the CRYONIS rune. Finally, we have obtained our third rune of the game, and that is not the final one, but that is the final one of this video. Now what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to use the rune to create an ice block here on this water. From here, we're going to want to use CRYONIS to use a block to lift the gate, and around the corner you're going to notice there is a guardian. Again, do not forget to pick up the ancient gears and the ancient material that are left behind. Pull out your CRYONIS again and put it underneath this platform here, which will then elevate the platform to allow you to access the upper level of the shrine. And from here, if we look across the way, you're going to see a treasure chest. And if we use CRYONIS again, we could use that to hop onto that platform, and you will be able to open the chest to obtain a traveler's spear. Now let's go ahead from here back to the upper level of the shrine and make our way to get the spirit orb. Sweet. So we have completed all of the shrines, and once we exit the shrine, we're going to see the old man again come out of nowhere. He seems to be stalking us, so he knows exactly what we're doing. Apparently this is his land, and he knows that we have acquired all of the spirit orbs, and he's very, very happy. And so we're hoping to exchange it for the paraglider. However, he has one more task for us to complete. So he tells us to imagine an X on our map, and where the lines intersect, that's going to be the spot that we're going to want to go to. So quite easily, what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to go to the Temple of Time, which is right here to the right, and that's the location we need to go to. Let's go ahead and open our map, and we're going to transport all the way back to the beginning shrine that we started at, which is the Shrine of Resurrection. Let's go ahead and exit the shrine, and we're going to head over towards the Temple of Time. The location that we're going to want to go to is to the top of the Temple of Time. And let's go all the way to the side of the Temple of Time, where you'll see this ladder, which you'll be able to climb to the top of the temple. And once you get to the top, you'll go to the center of the roof and go to the right. And this is where you're going to see the old man.
Well done there, young one. Now then, the time has come to show you who I truly am. I was King Rome Bosphoramos Hyrule. I was the last leader of Hyrule, a kingdom which no longer exists. That princess was my own daughter, my dear Zelda. You must save her, my daughter, and do whatever it takes to annihilate Ganon. I suggest that you make your way east out to one of the villages in the wilderness. Follow the road out to Kakariko Village. There you will find the Elder Impa. She will tell you more about the path that lies ahead.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to wrap up part 2 of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Getting the Paraglider Part 2. So I'm very happy that you have joined me on this journey. please look forward to part 3 as we will continue this walkthrough. Expect them to come along much quicker than ever before. I'm very excited to continue moving forward, and I'm very grateful that you have all joined to watch here. Thank you so much for your support. You guys are amazing. I'm close to about 47,000 subscribers, and it's just a true blessing to have you all and have all of this support from this community. So my name is Michael, also known as Hyrule Dude. I love you all. May God bless everyone, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.